धवन says the umpire. Holder coming round the wicket this time. Just trying to tuck up Shikhar Dhawan.
There was a bit of noise, but I guess it was from the t-shirt of Shikhar Dhawan.
This time two fielders catching in that slip corner. Ashley will slip. Kyle Hope more for fifth slip, you think. He's looking for anything in the air in that region. Rindra Bishu very close to Kyle Hope in that backward point area. And lots of balls being played uppishly. Nicely driven. Just leant on it and gave it a firm push. Few runs for India.
Spoke about Shikhar playing with a positive frame of mind, and this ball was a good delivery. Still managed to hit it on the up. Shows the kind of form he's been in. The running between the wicket was really good between the two.
Quick single. We've seen this so many times from these two. Old Dinesh Karthik comes in for India. He's got 7 half centuries to his name. 72 matches in ODI cricket for Dinesh Karthik, getting an opportunity in this game at the expense of Yuvraj Singh. The gap not properly timed. Can the West Indies get another wicket and put some more pressure on this Indian batting lineup? Jason Holder is a tall man. The extra bounce getting the better of Virat Kohli. It was a fair bit outside the off stump as well. Trying to get this on the onside, was not in control. Simple catch in the end.
It's been a good start from West Indies so far. For them to stay in the game, we've been talking about picking up wickets. They've managed to pick 2 so far. Has definitely put India's middle order under pressure. They pick up 1 more here, things will be very, very interesting. From India's point of view, it's very, very important that Dinesh, Karthik and Ajinkya Rahane play this phase of the game. It's all about soaking pressure at this stage. That's what cricket is all about. Bowlers putting on pressure, batters dealing with it, batters putting on pressure on the bowlers and bowlers responding.
Uppishly and through the legs of Jason Holder. He will be disappointed. So too the West Indies. Just letting the pressure off. Would not have been a boundary, but it was properly timed by Ajinkya Rahane. Just took the bottom hand off to keep it down.
Misfield at the wrong time. Just when the pressure was building. This time, straight through the hands of a square leg fielder.
It was Jason Mohammed. 2 blunders in the field for the West Indies. First their captain, and then there was an opportunity to get rid of the in-form Ajinkya Rahane. Jason Mohammed didn't quite expect the firmness of this stroke from Rahane. Went straight through his hands. Yeah, disappointment, frustration. He can't believe it, Jason Holder. Would have been a great opportunity for the West Indies. some more pressure on this Indian batting lineup. Jason Holder is a tall man. The extra bounce getting the better of Virat Kohli. It was a fair bit outside the off stump as well. Trying to get this on the onside, was not in control. Simple catch in the end.
It's been a good start from West Indies so far. For them to stay in the game, we've been talking about picking up wickets. They've managed to pick 2 so far. It's definitely put India's middle order under pressure. They pick up 1 more here, things will be very, very interesting. From India's point of view, it's very, very important that Dinesh, Karthik and Ajinkya Rahane play this phase of the game. It's all about soaking pressure at this stage. That's what cricket is all about. Bowlers putting on pressure, batters dealing with it, batters putting on pressure on the bowlers, and bowlers responding.
Officially, and through the legs of Jason Holder, he will be disappointed. So too the West Indies, just letting the pressure off. Not have been a boundary, but it was properly timed by Ajinkya Rahane. Just took the bottom hand off to keep it down.
Misfield at the wrong time. Just when the pressure was building.
That doesn't mean that they're quick.
No!
But I take your point, Tachi. It's clearly he's been working on a plan and working to the plan. He's a tall man, so sometimes it's not so much a matter of pace, but a matter of the height that you can get the ball up to the batsman with. They've been successful. I think probably you'll be less successful in a test match, because then the batsman can bat at his own pace and he doesn't really have to go after it. Which is why they don't waste their time in test cricket with Virat Kohli on the short ball. 9 gone. So 33 for 2. Missing 189 for 9, which is a modest total. 1 for Holder, 1 for Joseph. 2 danger men gone. Kadawan and Virat Kohli. West Indies now need to put the squeeze on India. Got to keep it nice and tight. Back it up with some good fielding and some good catching as well. Slight change, I think, Ajay, from in the last one, and they were taken, and by the time the West Indies knew it, huge partnerships had formed against them.
Yeah, because they got to keep that pressure, and although they don't have too many slips, but you see that extra cover rightly pointed by you, the angle that he's cutting and the gully coming in there, so the intent is attack, but interesting to see what happens next over, because the short one. His next over is when he's allowed to send more men outside, because the game's not going to change in the next 3 deliveries, no matter what happens, a couple of boundaries or a few good deliveries like that. But will he end up sending the deep point and deep ball leg back at the start of next over? That would be interesting for me to see.
And will he change the length that they're bowling? Oh, that one missed more by lack of pace than anything else. You've got to be careful not to overuse the short ball. Got to be the occasional delivery. You've got to find your standard line and length and hold a higher percentage of deliveries in that area.
Yeah, and with Dinesh Karthik, he's comfortable when it's short. He likes to cut, he likes to pull. Yeah, he's happier on the back foot. He doesn't enjoy coming on to the front foot. He's not one of those who drives the ball through mid-on, mid-wicket. If it's up, then he probably flick it. Drives it beautifully through covers. That's one shot that he plays, but I'm with you. You don't want to overdo the short ball, because when you're expecting it all the time, it becomes easier. The other interesting thing in the next over would be to see if they're going to change the bowler Does the next bowler come and still keep attacking, or are going to go into a defensive mode?
But you'd want to attack until you're forced to be defensive, wouldn't you? 10 overs gone, 33 for 2. Signaled 33 runs coming from that first 10. And Jason Holder has continued to be a bit attacking. So in the last game, that man at point was pushed back on the boundary, kept him in this time. He's looking to keep the fielders tight in the circle. From the way the field is set, looking to bowl one side of the wicket. So that's I have to say that's a tactical improvement on the last game.
Nicely driven, just as I said. He doesn't like plays that short down the ground. Plays it beautifully. Actually pitched right in his half. Tried to go full, but it was a nice half volley. Didn't time it too well, because the ball was pitched so further up, he could manage to hit that one.
That's an error from Alzari Joseph. He's not set for that. Well,
but it doesn't come onto the bat as quickly as he was hoping. He ends up just being able to swat it away to the debutant, Liam Livingstone. He will take another one, and South Africa 132 for 5.
Dr. Dan has sent us a sketch, which I've retweeted. It's
Hi, Dr. Dan.
Reza Hendricks being bowled by Tom Curran.
Oh, fantastic. I do love those sketches. I've got to say.
And you've been corrected by your mum, I think.
Have I? Not again.
Has your mum tweeted in?
She has.
Probably.
Well, Fiona Franklin.
That
Hi,
sounds
Mrs.
a lot
Franklin.
like her.
David's dad wishes to correct the record.
Sorry, is this one? I was absolutely petrified there as Curran comes into Bihardine, who works it away to the deep mid-wicket boundary for 1.
His highest score was 31.
Whoa, you really undersold him there.
He did get that 31, didn't he? He was in that kind of fading light game on a Sunday one time. It was 17 for a long time, and I apologise profusely.
Oh, gosh. Just can't get the children these days.
I know.
Wow.
Huge disappointments all round.
Yeah.
This is in from Curran, and it's sort of a little inside edge out to the leg side. They might get 2 for it, you know. As Livingston comes in, shies at the stumps from a long way out. It's a good throw, but the batsman, it's remarkable that he just worked it off his legs, but got a little inside edge. It squirted out to the vacant mid-wicket area, but as we were saying before, there is no one in front of square on the leg side in anywhere like a saving 1 position. As it turns out, anywhere like a saving 2 position, and they got 2 for a little edge. Anyway, Morris has moved on to 4-0 out. It's Curran in again to Morris, and this is hooked from quite high up above his head out in the offside. It's gone to Liam Livingstone again. They'll take 1. South Africa 136 for 5.
And Bellingham says, all weekend, been humming the Butler jingle all week.
Yeah,
good. Well, that's what we like from a jingle, yeah.
1 S and 2 T's.
Adam Stockton reminds us that Morris was great in the IPL.
Yeah, he was.
Curran in again, last ball of the over. Ooh. This is a slower ball, and it's slower ball kind of bouncing short outside the off stump. Bihardine tries to cut it away, but it can only find Jason Roy at point, and he will get none for that one. South Africa 136 for 5 from 16. So what's that? That's just over 8 and a bit and over. So again, I think
allowed for acceleration, I reckon 180 to 190.
Well, yeah, 10 and over is 176, isn't it? 12 and over from here is 184. So yeah, I think you'd certainly be hoping for at least 180 from this point. But if England can get wickets, they could easily restrict them to less than 160, and it wouldn't be too much of a surprise.
See, that caravan, the Sky Caravan, now looks appropriate in a small ground, whereas in a large
Dinesh Karthik,
stupid and gimmickish.
One came on to him very quickly. Really couldn't get hold of it. Very bad position. Goes for 2, Dinesh Karthik, and the India now 47 for 3.
Dada ko lagta hai I'm only sharing selfies. Mom, Dad think all I do is play video games. Chemistry, physics, Dad.
Sound travels through air. As the string moves to and fro, it creates a pressure difference that travels. Similar to that in a slinky, also visualized in a graph. So easy to understand sound.
Come fall in love with learning. Download Byju's, the learning app.
This is a black shirt with blue jeans. Here comes yet another black shirt with blue jeans. How old-fashioned. Fog scent. Makes even an ordinary black shirt with blue jeans special and fashionable. Fog scent. New fashion wear for men.
Well, here he comes, and they'd love to see the back of him, the West Indies. Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Just look at that resume. Massive numbers, massive experience. Took India home in the last game. He's got lots of time to bat now. In the 13th over, something that would be a bit strange for him. We'll have to probably bat a bit differently this time, which might just take him out of his comfort zone and give the West Indies a chance. Off the mark immediately. experienced partnership, these two, both of them. This was Karthik's wicket.
Yeah, another one going down to short pitch bowling. Dinesh Karthik hasn't played on this tour, though it's his first game. It's fidgety all around, but he plays that shot pretty well. But this time, he couldn't keep it down.
No! 13 overs are gone. It's 48 for 3.
My dad ना
अब देखना चेक करने के लिए डैड को भेजेंगी.
Circle is a line now of length 2 pi r. Lines above shorter and shorter till it's a triangle with area pi r square.
Come fall in love with learning. Download Byju's, the learning app.
Introducing Pepsi Black. Max taste, 0 calories. Now in India.
A very unusual looking Indian batting card. Don't see that too often. 3 wickets down for just 48 deliveries. But Ajinkya Rahane is still there on 35. Man in form. And he's batting with the man for all seasons. Miss Dhoni. So this is the partnership that needs to get broken before it blossoms. The West Indies will feel that they're in with a chance. Seamer's done it thus far, so Jason Holt has decided to keep himself on for a 7th over. He's got one for 15 in 6. Gonna see if he can get another wicket. I get the feeling that it's wickets that's going to have to do it to create pressure here. This is not a big total for India.
Yeah, you said unusual batting card. Yes, India has not been in this position many times, but unusual bowling card as well. Usually by this time you see 3 or 4 bowlers have already bowled. Captain Holt has put all his eggs in one basket. I mean, he's bowling himself. He's bowling his 7th over. He's had his main other strike bowler bowl another 7. So it's all or nothing today for West Indies. Field hasn't gone out as well. The customary deep point hasn't gone out. So he's making Indians work for that single today.
And you maybe think that they've realized too that it's an all or nothing sort of situation here with both of them bowling so many overs. So they'll probably just weather it out and wait for the spinners. You reckon?
The Indians would be wanting to do that. I don't think they are in a hurry, and they don't need to be in a hurry because the total isn't that big. There's nothing in the pitch.
What?
And certainly we are comfortable against spin. When we lost Dinesh Karthik, I wanted to ask you that question as well. Last game we saw Bishu come on and bowl as a 5th bowler. He came in number 5. I think it was over 25 later than that. Today you can use him as an attacking bowler as well, rather than bowl your 5th seamer who's going to hold the innings together. You have this control over the game at this moment. Mahendra Singh Dhoni's just walked in. The first change that you should make is probably go to your strike spinner.
No.
That's where the majority of the total to get would probably be best. There's Ashley Nurse as well. There's Kesrick Williams, the other seamer who hasn't bowled at all yet. I reckon that this should be probably the last over that Jason Holder and Alzari Joseph should bowl. You've got to hold a couple back in any case. 7 apiece. All he should really be able to afford at this point. We'll 6 back from those two, and maybe have Kesrick Williams into the attack and a spinner at the other end. I'm very happy to see that he's still keeping the field in, challenging the batsmen. "14 overs have been bowled and India are 49 for 3.
हाँ राजू भाई क्या चल रहा है?
फॉग चल रहा है 55
हाँ वो तो पता है मुझे, लेकिन और क्या चल रहा है?
60 और फॉग ही चल रहा है।
सोचिए मत, क्योंकि बिना गैस वाला फॉग ही है इंडिया का नंबर 1 परफ्यूम बॉडी स्प्रे।
True power can give you everything. Nothing can give you true power. You have to take it.
Watch Inside Edge exclusively on Amazon Prime Video.
Well, I guess it was inevitable there'd be a bowling change at some point. But that is interesting, though. The captain's gone. It was his call to keep the new ball bowlers running 7 overs, but he was in trouble. All along, you could see he was bent over before he came into bowl. Now he's gone off. Could it have been this? Ah, there he is. Kesrick Williams. Now the pressure, because Holder, and all along you can see he was Alzari Joseph have put West Indies in a position that they haven't been in this series before. Now it's up to Williams and Nurse and Bishu to take the game ahead before he came into bowl. Now he's gone off. He comes up in the 15th over. It'd be fair to say, Karthik, it's been a struggle.
And nobody thought that this was going to happen. The way the series has panned out so far on tougher wickets, India has batted better. The West Indians haven't been very consistent with their bowling, but today there's been a dogged fight. It's been a good fight back from the West Indian team. 189 was not par for this course, but the way they've come back with the ball has been heartening to see.
Well, Virat Kohli said this morning at the toss when Darren Ganga was talking to him, and he said, we just had a discussion this morning about this very issue, that you cannot take the opposition lightly. But sometimes, can you almost go into a game thinking, yeah, I'm going to win this?
I think there's a quiet confidence about the group, the way they have played the last 2-3 months. So there's always that quiet confidence, but I'm pretty sure the way this team plays, they do not take anybody lightly. That's one thing which you can always be sure of, because the way they train, the way they go about things. I don't think they will be taking them lightly. It's a question of accepting the fact that even West Indies have turned up today. They didn't turn up with the bat, but thus far they have turned up with the ball.
A nice little take down the leg side by Shea Hope. Just wonder if on the field they're thinking, what if? No side on the field can ever think that way. Just wonder if they're thinking, what if Jason Mohammed had latched on to that very catchable one from Ajinkya Rahane. Down the leg side again. We've got to be careful here. Can't just let the pressure go off.
And when you said that it's up to the rest of the bowlers to sustain that pressure and take it forward, because you've done the hard yards, you've got India on the mat, so to say. Yes, it was a very easy catch by international standards, what Jason Mohammed put down of Ajinkya Rahane. Ajinkya Rahane has been one of the main run getters in this series.
Just walking right across his stumps. There's always a sense of calm with Mahendra Singh Dhoni. I mean, you could have looked at that situation and said, right, there's a bit of tension in the air. All that we've talked about is how poor the West Indies are and how they're not good enough competition anymore. How can we lose to them? And yet there's such a sense of calm around him. He's only played 7 balls, but that's the impression he's giving.
Arsha, the analogy I would use is, if you give an integral question and a differential calculus question to a mathematician, he'd be very calm about it. If you gave it to a novice like me, I'd be fretting and sweating all over. So Mahendra Singh Dhoni, when he comes out to bat, he knows exactly what the situation is and he's got it under control because he knows how to counter it.
Now, Karthik, be careful. Now. You don't want your father who listens in on the broadcast to hear this from you, given the scientist that he was.
The entire family was very good with that, except for me.
Any day differential calculus, any day.
Differential was definitely easier than integral.
Oh, yes.
No!
Just 4 runs from that Kesrick Williams over. It's 53 for 3 from 15.
Gotta do that, do this. Gotta do that, do this. Down for the race, we getting it faster. Be just a minute, ain't your master. Do whatever it takes to be the best. Grab the storm and bring the spread.
I took the challenge. Will you?
Life is now, and you're so wow. Life is now, and you're so wow.
McDowell's #1 soda. Aaj banao #1 yaari.
I took the challenge. Will you?
3 wickets extra. Why, Jason Holder's back. And so is Vivian Bishu. I thought he did well on Friday. He needs to keep us going for the West Indies here. He's got a slip. Economy of 4.5 for a career that's still so young. He's 31. He's only played 24 games. A lot of the time it was Sunil Narayan, Samuel Badri, those kind of people. Badri more T20, of course. Low. Now that you're allowed 4 fielders outside, they've got all 4 now for the spinner.
And it's the same tactic which was used even in the last game against Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Just that packed outside. They've packed it outside the off stump. Sorry, beg your pardon. I've got a slip, a man at covers, point, and a man on the 30-yard boundary. I think it's one of those things which Mahendra Singh Dhoni has to counter. He doesn't play the sweep shot. There's a man between deep mid-wicket and long leg.
Well, Dhoni does want to go against the turn and play it out on the onside. There's loads of space. There's a short mid-wicket fairly in, and then there's long on the boundary and square leg deep. So there's loads of room. The question is, he's unlikely to play there though, because the line already is on off and slightly outside off. He'll take his time. He'll be in no hurry. I mean, you need 137. You've got 206 balls to get them in. Oh, beautiful ball. Beautiful ball, because the drift has taken it away just towards the leg side. And a lot of turn on that. What a ball from Bishu. They're all just looking at each other.
Yeah, against the run of play. We've not seen him spin the ball too much right through the series, and just when you expected the ball was going to be straight, drifting in beautifully and spinning just from the face of it.
And then he pushes that through too quickly for it to do anything at all. It made an over. 53 for 3.
Somehow it's gonna sound crazy.
this was the fifth ball of the previous over. A prodigious turn. And the reason it's beaten him as well, look, the drift has taken it down the leg side. This is huge appeal. Umpire said not out. Did well to keep the back foot in for a start. Beautiful ball. The next ball he just pushed through straight.
Yeah, that's one thing which we have generally seen with Devendra Bishud. Every time he flights the ball, there's always the next delivery which is quicker through the air.
We talk about the sense of calm that that Dhoni brings to a situation. I think you could say pretty much the same without the numbers to back it yet for Ajinkya Rahane. It's almost a test match situation. This is in no hurry. The run rate's not a factor at all in this match. All you've got to do is bat your way through to the next 136. That's pretty much what he enjoys doing more than anything else.
I think the sense of calm not only comes with the way you play the bowling, it's also the way your mannerisms are, the way you move about in the crease. Is there something fidgety about you, especially when the situation is tough? And you're right, Ajinkya Rahane brings the same amount of serenity to the proceedings, and more so in Test match cricket. Sometimes when it's seaming around, swinging around, he just leaves it so beautifully as if nothing's happening over there.
Now against the seamers this series, where is he getting his runs? Look how many of the balls that are on offside, the yellow, the ones in yellow, have actually been played out on the onside. It tells you two things. One is they're not giving it, they're giving very little that's straight. A lot of it is outside off, and he's still finding space on the onside to score those runs. India won't mind the singles, the West Indies should. It's an interesting, it's an interesting format, Karthik, which also tells me that there's a lot of thought that's gone behind this West Indies bowling. They may not have the ammunition, but there's thought. We saw that against Kohli. Again with Dhoni, it's a tactic that's been discussed around the world, and they've tried using it many times. Bowl as wide from off stump as possible, as full as well, actually. Oh, that's easy. They slent into it, and we'll stay with two. Rahane's pulled him for three. It was always going to be Rahane's call because Dhoni was running to the safe end.
And you're right, it's a tactic which has been widely discussed, widely used against MS Dhoni, but he always finds a way to counter. He doesn't change his stance. It's not as if he's standing on off stump trying to counter the deliveries which are bowled wide outside to him. Even the spinners have started doing it, packing the offside, trying to keep it wide outside the off stump. And especially with only 4 fielders who can be outside in that period 11 to 40, you need to come up with strategies.
This was an indication of what lies ahead for the West Indies once the two lead bowlers, that's in this case today Holder and Joseph, who did a good job with the new ball, have gone away. Not a chance taken in this over. They've only batted very safely, sedately, and yet they've got 6 in over without taking a chance. 6 in this over. That is something the West Indies need to guard against. That is something India will want to do much more of. Even if it's not 6, 4 or 5 will do for India.
No!
It's 59 for 3 from 17.
Salam, sir. मुन्ना, हाँ सर, क्या चल रहा है? आजकल तो फॉग चल रहा है।
सोचिए मत, क्योंकि बिना गैस वाला फॉग ही है इंडिया का नंबर 1 परफ्यूम बॉडी स्प्रे।
True power can give you everything. Nothing can give you true power. You have to take it.
Watch Inside Edge exclusively on Amazon Prime Video.
McDowell's #1 soda. Aaj banao #1 yari.
That was wonderful. They brought the shade, weren't they? There's ways of countering the sun. And if you got only a little, length of shade, then make the most of it.
I did that on the tennis court yesterday. Just a little bit of shade.
There's only one of you, though. Well, the reason he's trying so hard to bring up the tennis court, Murli Karthik, is that he's mighty proud of beating Ajay Jadeja and Zahir Khan. That might be another 3 coming up here. Again up to Rahane. Again he pulls the captain along for a 3rd. Willingly, dare I say. Playing a very good hand here. Rahane 38. Dhoni's had a start too. That's dangerous.
I think it's been a different Rahane as well against Devendra Bishu. The second game at Port of Spain literally shook him. Off his line. Couple of inside-out shots, forcing him to bowl wide outside the leg stump. Good comeback by Bishu in the last game here.
There is room to play the inside-out shot again because cover on the boundary is very, very square and long off is as straight as it can be. So if you can clear cover, there's this huge area on the offside.
For that you need to throw the ball up in the air, which he has not done post that game.
This is probably where the West Indies lost out a little bit. Bishu certainly troubled Dhoni early on. He was just 29 then. Went on to make 78.
Yes.
Might have played that onto his boot. 63 for 3.
Introducing Pepsi Black. Is it the tastiest zero-calorie cola ever? There's only one way to find out. Max Taste 0 calories, now in India.
You gotta do that, do this. Gotta do that, do this. Down for the race, we're getting it faster. Be just a mid-angel master. Do whatever it takes to be the best. Grab the storm and free the stress.
I took the challenge. Will you?
Not always did you see the 2 new ball bowlers bowl 7 apiece. But that was their chance. They were bowling well. Now the appeal started long before the ball reached the keeper actually. The umpires paid absolutely no heed and has called a wide. Now if the appeal is as strident as that, if the bowler so genuinely believes there was a nick, then he should be referring it, shouldn't he? Otherwise the umpire is going to tell him, if you thought there was out, go and check it out.
Yeah, they had a massive look, one good look at the wicketkeeper Shea Hope and got nothing from him. One of the biggest indicators is your wicketkeeper. There was not a lot of appeal from him once he took that delivery down the leg side.
No!
And let's see if there's something to it at all. Not a flicker. Not a flicker. And also look how far the bat is from the body. So it couldn't have been any other sound. Sometimes you do hear a little sound and in the speed of it all you're not sure if it's come off the inside edge or the bat's hit bad or it's brushed a thigh. There's nothing there at all.
Sometimes even the whippy handle makes a bit of a noise, which can be a false alarm for anyone. Sometimes even you as a batsman yourself think that, have you nicked it?
The longer this pace drags out like this without a follow for wicket, the better it will be for India. West Indies need wickets.
Can adopt in trying to be too expressive or trying to be too attacking. Sometimes you end up giving lots of runs.
No singles so far in this over. Just the one wide early on. It's turned out to be a lovely day now. We weren't sure how this day is going to pan out, I must admit, this morning, when we had the strange interplay of the elements. The man down the boundary will keep it down to a single, so 2 of the over, including the wide. 65 for 3.
हाँ राजू भाई क्या चल रहा है?
फॉग चल रहा है 55
हाँ वो तो पता है मुझे लेकिन और क्या चल रहा है?
60 और फॉग ही चल रहा है.
सोचिए मत, क्योंकि बिना गैस वाला फॉग ही है इंडिया का नंबर 1 परफ्यूम बॉडी स्प्रे.
Wickets more, and yet for India the required rate is 4 and over. It's about to suggest to you, Karthik, that the field for Dhoni, which is predominantly offside, he's unlikely to try and sweep or slog sleep over mid-wicket. Rahane doesn't mind doing that sometimes.
Yeah, and with Rahane, you know that you can be swept from in front of square to a very fine sweep shot, so that's why you need that cover, and especially to good deliveries. And again, it can be a lofted sweep shot or one along the ground, so that's the control which Ajinkya Rahane has. Whereas on the other hand, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, if you don't keep that mid-wicket, he'll run at you and try and milk you down the onside, but you've got a mid-wicket. What they've done very nicely for a leg spinner to do or bowl wide outside the off stump, the length isn't as consistent. you're always reliant on that drift and just around the off stump. So it's a good ploy which they're using. That's one of the reasons why they've not brought
I think for inches, yeah.
हाँ वो तो पता है मुझे लेकिन और क्या चल रहा है
60 और फॉग ही चल रहा है
सोचिए मत क्योंकि बिना गैस वाला फॉग ही है इंडिया का नंबर 1 परफ्यूम बॉडी स्प्रे
Gotta do that, do that, use this. Gotta do that, do that, use this. Down for the race, we getting it faster. Be just a mid-angel master. Do whatever it takes to be the best. Ride the storm and free the spread.
I took the challenge. Will you?
So not a lot to choose there, other than the fact that India have lost more wickets. West Indies 31 to India's 33 in the first 10, 38 to 40. The West Indies really came apart thereafter. And that is what's going to play into India's hands. Right, here's Kesrick Williams, 3 overs for 12 so far. From the Windward Islands, Kesrick Williams, slow ball. Very short, but Rahane was ready and was looking onside. And there was one earlier, but it might have been a little more outside off that Dhoni hit with a horizontal bat, but down to long off. Rahane is always waiting to play the spinners out on the onside.
He's not a very tall man, Ajinkya Rahane, but when he plays that short ball or when he plays that pull, he goes down even further, trying to be on in complete control on what he wants to do. Can play the lofted shot. You can see that swing plane coming every time he wants to, whether he wants to hit it up or down along the ground. Very quick using the depth of that crease, whether he plays the cut shot or the pull shot against the spinners.
Good form. He's well on course to a 4th half century on the trot. The most interesting of all those muted, of all those sort of stifled appeals was the one that came from mid-wicket. It's going wide of the crease. The ball is slanting away towards leg stump. Very difficult for Williams to get an LBW. Yeah, the last Indian opener to score 4 consecutive 50-plus scores as an opener, last opener, was Tendulkar in 2003. Rahane is 4 runs away from joining him in that. Oh, that little bit of trivia. It's not the kind of landmark that you want to put in headlines, but it's an indicator of consistency. It tells you that when he's in form, he's making the most of it.
I think we had something similar when it came to Shikhar Dhawan and Ajinkya Rahane. It would have been a world record if they had got to another 50-plus stand in the last game, which didn't happen.
Or 100 in Trinidad, but I dare say the third of those was the most valuable because conditions weren't easy to bat. India were put in on a damp pitch. The ball was taking off sometimes. He had a fine innings, I thought. I heard some people on social media saying, there he goes playing a test match innings again. And I said, yes, there he goes playing a test match innings again. Because he needed it.
That was the need of the hour, and because of the fact that he played the test match sort of an innings, the others could capitalize later on.
Just one of the over. 21 gone, it's 74 for 3.
Life is now, and you're so wow, wow, wow. Life is now, and you're so wow, wow, wow. You gotta do that, do this. Gotta do that, do this. Down for the race, we're getting it faster. Be just a mid-angel master. Do whatever it takes to be the best. Grab the storm and free the spread.
I took the challenge. Will you?
Introducing Pepsi Black. Max Taste, 0 calories, now in India.
So India, 74 for 3. The experienced MS Dhoni is there, beaten 14 from 27. And Ajinkya Rahane yet again, an innings of substance. 46 from 61. It will be Devendra Bishu to continue. It's been a little bit on the short side, you would think. Ajay Jadeja alongside me. A couple of deliveries which were flighted, spun across MS Dhoni. And you would think he would want to have more deliveries in that area.
Yeah, a little further than that, I guess, because I think it was the first over when he spun that one. He'd want to do that. But last over, he had a couple of short ones. Dhoni pulled one to long off, in fact. And then Ajinkya Rahane took the ball on his own side and pulled one over mid-wicket. So he's bowled a few short ones. And that's released a little bit of pressure because this partnership has been on for 8, 9 overs. Not so too many runs, but the time that they've taken in a while has actually taken the pressure a little off the Indian batsman.
Yes.
Down with this kind of thing.
He was looking to hit that very straight.
Down with this sort of thing.
Yeah. Careful now.
Careful, careful.
Careful now.
Is it really awful, Father? Oh, just go and have a look.
Should we all be racist now, Father?
Yeah. Because I spend a lot of time on the farm. I don't know if I'll be able to devote that much time to the
full time to the all racism thing. If you've never seen Father Ted, you should.
You should,
and
yeah.
that will have made no sense to you. Roy's on 10 now, and this one is short, and he's back in his crease, pulling it, not wholly convincingly. but it finds the man out there on the mid-wicket boundary. Another run to Jason Roy. Has 11 now from 8 deliveries. Brings Billings back onto strike. He has 1 off 2. The score is 13 without loss.
Peter Siddle, surprisingly quick. He can crank it up a little bit.
Could. There's also all of those stories about him eating 18 bananas a day.
Yeah, because he's a vegan, isn't he? He just ate bananas, basically.
That can't be good for you, though.
No.
That would gum you up something chronic, wouldn't it?
Well, there's that famous story about that as a diet in the 80s that you only ate oranges and it gave people vitamin C poisoning and they turned orange and died. That's true. That happened.
Only anything.
Yeah.
Drink too much water, it can kill you.
Let's not go there.
No, indeed. I was going to mention that as well, but wait. This is a full ball on middle and leg, angled in there, and Billings is able to work this behind square. Probably come back for 2 there.
Before anyone complains, I do know it has to be an awful lot.
Yes.
Men with Ven.
Hello, Venners.
Had a lovely day at England Day versus South Africa in Canterbury till Dane Pitt bowled, and that jingle played in my brain.
I cannot see his name.
Must kill the Hoff bear.
I cannot see his name, Dave, written down without thinking of Dane Pitt. Which is an affliction.
Maybe if England start coasting, we've got it loaded already. We
will have the Zafar Ansari jingle though, before the evening's out.
I haven't heard the Zaf jingle.
And Rowan's not heard it, so that is all the excuse we need. I know next door Sophia will be getting incredibly excited about the prospect of hearing that jingle.
Not Fred.
The all-time favourite. Morris bowls a short ball and Billings attempts to swat this high over long off, and running in to take the catch there is David Miller. It's very high on the bat, terrible looking shot, and he is gone.
I'm not Jason Roy-esque shot.
I'm not sure why there appears to be an obsession with these two, trying to slap these quick bowlers back over their head. They're bowling with decent pace. Just use the pace of the ball early doors. Just play normal cricket shots.
It's a Jason.
Stop being Egypt.
Jason not being the first person to get out. Shocker.
Well,
sounds awful, and I'm a big fan of Jason Roy.
Must be the first time in 8 innings for England that got me out first.
Yeah, good point.
I would think.
Not Fred. We had all of 3 balls on those highlights. Yes, because it's a T20 and the gap's very, very small. Chris the Choir met blowers in the Essex Pavilion years ago, writing for a paper. As he was buying a G&T, he asked, "Did anyone see that wicket?" Different times.
Was that you, Christy, who said that, or was that Blowers himself?
No, Blowers, I think. We're getting pictures of...
Now, striding to the wicket is arguably England's most in-form batsman in all forms of the game.
It is a man whose jingle I will find as soon as I finish this sentence.
I am the big shot.
That's the other one.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
You heard me right the first time, name of Bachelor Johnny Cool. Occupation, big shot.
That is, I mean, he's in such good form, he deserves that jingle.
It's Johnny Yogi Bairstow, who's strode to the crease like a colossus, and his first ball, he inside edges past the man at short, fine leg, goes all the way to the boundary. It was Jason Roy, actually, because, of course, they crossed.
Now that's a Jason Roy shot.
Well,
huge swing. Got nowhere near it.
Maybe the tide is starting to turn because an innings or 2 ago.
Yep, that'd have gone straight onto the leg
stumps. But he's had a bit of luck there, Jason Roy, and who can say he doesn't deserve it? He's moved on to 15, and he goes for an almighty hoik. This time gets another inside edge. This time a thinner one. Beats the wicketkeeper all ends up and rattles into the boundary for another one.
Here's my favourite jingle.
Ball went through to the keeper. Somehow let it through, straight through the keeper, went through the keeper, gone through the keeper, then through the keeper, it's through the keeper, straight through the keeper.
Yeah, Mangaliso Mosekhle has let that one go. And if you're being incredibly harsh, you could say that went past at catchable height.
Yes, he was wrong-footed, wasn't he? That was the problem.
But he was, it's one of those where it's an inside edge. You weights on the other foot. Nevertheless, I've seen them taken. Yep. This one is turned into the leg side by Roy, who's had a couple of very fortunate boundaries in this over. Gets no run this time. It's 23 for 1.
He's had some serious luck, hasn't he? I mean, you're right. Maybe all the luck is being cashed in like, you know, all of the last 10 innings, it's all been combined. And he's going to make 100 purely off nicks.
Comes in clumps. He was in such bad nick that when he got that 92 and then he got out on 90, he'd been thinking the world's against me. I've got 92. I've not even got my ton this time. He's facing up again to Morkel, who bowls another short delivery, which Roy thought about attempting to uppercut, and then discretion got the better of him. Yes.
They're really getting it through. That one lifted. That. God, I wouldn't want to be facing Morne Morkel. Oh.
Well, this is his default length. This is the sort of bowler he is. And we saw that incredible graphic says he's not bowled Yorker in 2.5 years. Basically.
Which is a shame, because you'd reckon from that height it would be really effective.
It worked for Joel Garner in years gone by, didn't it?
Do you think the keeper maybe needs to go back in?
Yeah, well,
he's got a good hand on
that. Chris Squire said the run rate 875, too expensive if it were the price for a bottle of wine.
It is. It's that slightly more than average for your supermarket wine. This is a fuller ball this time from Morgan. Maybe that's why he doesn't bowl them, because it's turned away really beautifully, timed by Roy all the way to the square leg boundary for the third one of these of the over.
Super shatta, super shatta, super shatta, super shatta, super shatta, rocka, rocka, super shatta.
I think that's the first pure Jason Roy style flick that I've seen in about 8 games.
It's just a pure cricket shot, isn't it?
Beautiful.
And it's, you know, I was a batsman when I played, and that turn off the legs was something I could never master. But the pros make it look very easy. And
and again.
Oh, yeah.
This is a lovely shot. Cut this time. Square of the wicket on the offside. It races away to the boundary. It's number 4 of these of the over.
That went like a tracer bullet.
Bloody well did. 4 fours in the over, and it's 31 for 1 after 3.
Oh. I did channel the Churchill dog a bit there. It's,
yeah.
It's a great shot, that.
That was beautiful. It was a thing of absolute beauty. Where are you? Mog. The question must be asked, why am I listening to a T20 match at 3:47 a.m. It's now 4 a.m, I guess, where you are. Because it's T20, because it's cricket, and we all love the cricket.
Love you. Mog.
Meow. Ravi's saying, about me, she writes books like Surrey, sometimes reads tweets, and is single. Alternate own is back. England 5 down when this is read. No, they're not. They're only 1 down. Ha-ha. Yes, I am catching up slowly. 4 hours to Creedence Clearwater Revival time. What?
Sounds like one of their albums. This is a full delivery. Is the first ball that Yogi Bairstow has faced, bowled by Chris Morris, and he digs it out, just rolls out on the offside. There's no run.
That's a Yorker, or as we call it now, a reverse Morkel.
People are now replying to Mog about why is he listening to the cricket at stupid o'clock in the morning.
He's not called Morne Yorkel, is he? Last I heard.
That's gold.
You heard it here first.
That is gold.
Even Alex Hales is laughing at that. Where in the high vis.
Totally unintelligible. To anyone apart from the people in this room.
Chris Morris is bowling again. This one beats Johnny Bairstow on the outside edge, went back in his crease to try and play that, but that was a good line and length. Tucked him up for a little bit of room. He tried to play it onto the offside, but again it zipped off the pitch with very decent pace. Yeah, he's done well not to get a...
It's like...
Yep.
Who else bowled a heavy ball? I think Sreesanth was quite surprised.
Sreesanth was kind of whippy, wasn't he? He was a real whippet of a bowler, and he had a fierce old temper on him as well. He was always box office to watch.
I suppose the classic example would be Tim Bresnan. Everyone used to say that he hit the bat much harder than you expected.
He was just a fat knacker. This is another beauty from Chris Morris, who's constructing a beautiful over here to Johnny B, and it was another one of those. It was through him and past the outside edge, and he was late on it again.
He bowled a lot in the Test series when England played South Africa, Chris Morris, but I don't think I've seen him in this kind of rhythm before. He's about to, well, perhaps bowl a maiden, but he's getting it flying through. I mean, he's got some balls up to 90 miles an hour, and it looks quick.
Yeah.
Neil, Cricket Ultra, Craig White had a slinging action like Jeff Thompson.
Yeah.
He was quicker than Thompson. No, obviously.
Well, I mentioned Craig White earlier on in dispatches as someone who bowls surprisingly quickly, and it was a time when we had Goff and Caddick. Caddick not renowned as the paciest of bowlers necessarily, but he did bowl that back of the length and was quick enough. And this one, just to show what form he is in, Johnny B gets onto the front foot and drives this one sumptuously through extra cover, races to the boundary. I feel a bit sorry for Chris Morris because he bowled beautifully in that over, and
he bowled a long half volley. It's such a shame.
Yeah. Only got himself to blame, really. I don't feel sorry for him at all.
It's still a good over, as you said.
Yeah.
But,
Juliet Clancy is watching on an open-air screen at Canary Wharf.
Oh, how lovely.
Not a bad place to catch the run chase. No, cool.
And who's with you, Juliet?
I don't know.
Are you surrounded by bankers?
Nestle boy! I think there's someone on the comms now who missed a wicket. Commentating the other day.
Oh, that was me. And
really?
You and you know why you know that, Nestor? Because you did as well, as did Sophia. We didn't realise there'd been a wicket game. It was the Bangladesh-India game.
Ford.
Is that El Nombre from the kids' TV program?
It sounds a little bit like the Count from Sesame Street.
Oh,
to me.
that's who it is. That's right.
I love to count.
Have you seen the amazing Count video where they bleep the word count? It just sounds like he says, "I want to fuck" all the time. It's amazing. Oh, we'll watch that later. That's one for the memories.
And this is outside Roy's off stump, and he plays it from the crease out to extra cover. They think about a single, but there's not one there because he hit it quite well. He's got 31 off 16 now. Jason Roy will be pleased with the way he started. And Dane Patterson has come on to bowl.
Dane. Well, we could have it. I mean, we could.
No, we don't have to. No, we will find a gap for Zafar Ansari, though.
What you should do if you want to hear the Dane Pete jingle is pay £20 and you can get all our archives. You
That's right.
You can listen to the Dane Pete song all day, every day.
We've done very little pleading for money this evening, actually, it strikes me. This is on the leg stump of Jason Roy.
Wicket nonsense.
Takes the pad and runs out to short mid-wicket. Johnny B's got a bit of a grin on because there was almost a mid-pitch collision. And that always evokes mirth unless it actually happens, at which point there are recriminations and fighting.
I was watching my son play cricket the other day, and there was the two boys that were in the end. They were having massive arguments because one of them kept running the other one out because it was pairs cricket, so they don't actually get out when they get out. And it was just in the middle of the pitch having this big barn.
Brilliant.
You keep telling me to run. You shouldn't be telling me to run.
So a little bit of Yorkshire Surrey love there as they punch gloves. Bairstow and Roy. Bairstow just the one scoring shot from his 6 balls. He has 4, and what a sumptuous 4 it was. Roy still on 31. That last one was a leg bite. It's 41 for 1 in the 5th over. And this one is flipped over the head of the man at backward square leg by Johnny B, and it races away for another one.
So after 3, the scribes would write 4.
Press the 3 one there.
The 3 one?
Yeah, the 3, number 3.
It's me, says that's she. What we want to hear.
It's me, says she.
With the mock jingles, you slightly play the lottery.
Yeah, well, I've worked out that that's at 3 now.
Yeah,
I like that one.
We're not playing 4, ironically. The fourth 4 one.
The fourth 4 jingle.
Yeah, don't play the fourth 4 jingle. It's banned.
What, is that the previous one you played?
No, that's the.
That one.
Robin Thicke.
Yes, Robin Thicke.
Robin Thicke as pig shit. This one is cut rather close to him by Johnny B, but it races to the man at point and fielded, backward point, no run.
Okay,
45 for 1.
Here's a conjecture for you. Say these guys bat through the innings.
Yeah.
Roy finishes on, let's say 90, Bess on 60, 70.
90?
Yes. Let's say that.
Suppose, yeah.
Let's say that.
Yeah.
What happens then when they're thinking about selecting the openers for the one-day side? What do you do then?
I'm not going to go into all the details, but Johnny Bairstow has to play.
You think so?
I absolutely think so. He is the batsman who's in the best form for England at the moment.
When's the next? I'm just thinking about.
Well, we've got 3 we got the T20 to come, and then the Test matches, and then then the West Indies, and then the West Indies ODIs at the end of the summer.
We're not going to put Jason in the
so
Test match.
this is speared into his leg stump by Patterson. Much better delivery that Yorker length, and it's dug out by Johnny B.
I'm more the.
No
we need Jace for the Surrey final, so.
Oh, there's no doubt who'll play in that.
Hang
on, yeah, because he won't be in the Test team. So.
No, but I just meant these are the last 2 chances people have to impress before the one-day matches.
True that. Big Sexy Barry. You know it's an inexperienced side when the criminally under-selected Bairstow has the 4th most cap. There we go. Dave Emrys, renowned county trundler Gordon Parsons was the quickest bowler I ever faced. He was faulty at the time too.
Somerset Parsons. Oh no, that's Keith Parsons, wasn't it, I think? Okay.
New bowler. Yeah.
Yeah, the only man to take the wicket, a wicket for South Africa in Southampton the other day, 1 for 11. Weirdly, he took the wicket in his first over and then bowled another half over later on, which I don't really understand. Why didn't he keep him on? Anyway, he's in now, Felaqueo, to start to Jason Roy, who swats it through mid-wicket and gets another single. He moves on to 32. The score is 46 for 1.
I've retweeted a sketch from Dr. Dan.
Excellent. What's the sketch?
I have to go back to that now. It was a little while ago. Beardy Ed. Morning, everyone. What's going off?
Beardy Ed channeling Fred Truman there. I just don't know why they don't pick me. Bairstow back on strike now. 8 off 9. Felaqueo is going to bowl to him, and he's running in now, loping in rather. Goes back in his crease and slightly backing away to leg there, Johnny B, and smacks it to extra cover. There's no run.
Beardy Ed also, I don't think I recognise anyone on comms, which is good, because I recognise that wanker, not Fred.
Excellent. What do you mean you don't recognise us? Beardy.
Oh, well, the captain, Paul Howard, the captain of the commentary team today.
It's very much like when Josh Butler got to captain England and no one else is available.
Yeah,
it's Grubby on comms here, and you've got Ed over in the jingle chair and Rowan in the tweet seats. That's just for you, Beardy. You can find us. You'll have to look hard though. This one is on the hip of Johnny B. It takes him about the hip bone and just rolls out to the offside, and they scamper through for a leg bye. The score moves up to 47 for 1. 5.5 overs have gone. England are very firm favourites for this game. England were about 7-4 on before a ball had been bowled, and at the halfway point, even though South Africa had scored 30 more than they did in Southampton on this pitch, even though they had 174, England were 2-1 on. So very firm favourites. Haven't looked at the odds recently, but I should imagine we're even shorter than that now. And it's a slightly slower ball by Felaqueo. Roy had to wait for it as he advanced down the pitch. He did wait for it. He smacked it through, well, what should we call that? Wide, long on, mid-wicket area.
Corner-y.
Yeah, cowish. He connected with it. A decent bit of fielding out there on the boundary. Keeps him down to 2. Out the back of the hand, that from Felaqueo.
It's a great bit of fielding, but he's definitely in better nick. He saw that, he waited for it, and he advanced down the pitch to try and get some momentum on it. But it's a really good bit of fielding by, I think that it's that.
Pass.
Benningham, I will recommend the archive keenly. 517 for 1 jingle for cookies of paper.
517 for 1, as this one is also swatted out to a similar area by Jason Roy, rather directly to the man on the boundary this time, so it's just a single.
Shall I see if I can dig out the Zafar Ansari jingle?
England's 50 is up when there's 1 ball left in the 6th over, 1 wicket down.
Mog is saying...
Sorry, Ro. Please talk.
Mog saying the steadfast and long-term support of the Ansari jingle has been noted, Grubby.
It is a beauty.
Only appreciating great work, Moggers. As a miniature conflab, as Felaqueo is going to complete his first over, bowling to the baseball-batted Johnny B, and he turns it off his hip. Nicks the strike for the start of the next over and moves on to 9. The score is 51 for 1 after 6. Any more on the tweets there, Rowan?
Yes, Nestle Boy has been invited to England versus West Indies at the Oval at the end of September. Jammy.
The day-nighter, is that? Nestle's? With the pink ball?
No, that's Edgbaston.
That's Edgbaston, is it? Oh, OK, so that's a one-dayer, I suppose, against Windies at the Oval. That'd be a good night. A few pints, a couple of glasses of rum, that'd be delightful.
And Ed now. Ed, of course, alternate row and cloth ears, obviously. Yeah, well, I haven't been on for a while, Ed. I did one...
Beardy Ed, you talking to?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I was...
sorry, not you, Ed. Yeah, I did one of the Champions Trophy games, half of one of the Champions Trophy games, but I have not been on for a while because Guerrilla Cricket moved to the other side of town for a bit. And I had to go north of the river.
Which no one likes to do.
Right, Grubs, I've got it. Whenever you're ready. I'll tell you what, we'll play at the next commentary change.
Sweet. And this is driven out by Bairstow. One hand comes off the bat, the bottom hand. But it's just to the left of the man at cover, and they drop through for a single. Bairstow into double figures.
They have we moaned about the kit on air yet?
Which one?
They're both shockers,
we
aren't
have
they?
moaned about the kit in the green.
We have.
Well, the South African kit looks like really shit American basketball wear. That's what I think. Whereas the England kit looks like those Gap knockoff polo shirts.
I think the England kit looks like a horrible rugby league strip. And I think the South African one's got that awful sort of fading thing going on, like they're running out of petrol. This is a short ball from Patterson. Could well be called a wide from square leg, that one.
I think he's lucky he walked down the pitch, Roy.
It was
a bit wide.
Lucky. It was definitely overhead height to me, but we'll have to see from square on. It's not been given. I think he might have got away with one here. Really dug it in.
Oh, no.
No, maybe. I've done him a disservice. You've got to be so accurate when you're going to bowl a slow ball. A short ball. It's got to be between shoulder and head height, and there's very little margin forever. Forever and ever. Amen. Patterson in again over the wicket to Bairstow, who just bunts this one. Sorry, it's Roy. Apologies for that. Up to long on, and there is a single. He moves on to 36.
I can't wait for this over to end. The Zafar Ansari jingle.
Oh, it's locked and loaded.
It's locked. We're ready.
Sophia will be coming into position just to experience the Zafar.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. If you've not heard, dear listeners, if you've not heard the Zafar Ansari jingle before, peel your ears and get ready for a treat.
Yeah, you're in for a treat.
53 for 1 it is, halfway through the 7th over. England cruising at the moment without really doing anything stupid. This was outside off stump, and Johnny B attempts a wafty kind of carve over cover. Does not get a bat on it. Bit of a loose shot, that, actually. Beat him on the outside edge. Bit of movement off the pitch.
Yeah, it did move off the pitch. I thought he'd nicked that, but it was, you're right, seam movement.
Yeah.
Beardy says, Guerrilla hipsters know that the John Davison jingle is where it's at.
Ooh, not familiar with that one.
No, neither am I.
Are you Beardy Ed because you are a hipster, Beardy, or are you like me, a long-term beard wearer who's frankly pissed off that these people have moved into our territory?
Yeah.
This one is guided down to third man off the face of the bat by Johnny B. Neatly played there, comfortable single.
You're the bearded version of a Brexiteer coming over
meta,
here.
Isn't it? Being
annoyed at
hipsters. We were hipsters before hipsters were hipsters.
Yeah, before the hipsters had that name, but
after the original
hipster movement in the 60s. Oh, Christ. I've tied myself up in a meta knot.
So you're post-hipster, but also pre-hipster.
Yeah. Certainly never drank coffee out of jam jars before those fuckers moved in.
If you're not following, we want plates, by the way, on Twitter.
Jason Roy is facing up to this last ball of the 7th over, steps away to leg and carves it up to wide mid off. He's going to take the strike. It's the end of the 7. It's 55 for 1. And
we're going to have a double change, and you're getting Zafar Ansari.
Here he comes.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I saw this young guy cricketer looking pretty short and he still got cool big. He's an all-round bowler, batter, front to the stump, slow left arm, orthodox. Peter Green, Legion, some other guys would have been sooner, but he broke a thumb. He says back sounds a lot more deadly than Bangladesh ever really was. And I can see this serene. He's on the tour, he's on the team, and I can't leave, just so serene. Left it, place it right. Score a central I'm sorry, never been so roaring. I'm sorry, I watched it eat from the Murray.
Slaquai is finishing, starting his second over, and it's a beautiful pull shot from Jason Roy. He rocks back. Slaquai is not quick enough to be bowling that kind of length, and he's rocked back and pulled it to the boundary for one of these.
The number of the day. Who could ask for more? The number of the day is 4.
That's a good one too.
So we've had a double change. We've got on my left,
Sophia,
and on my right,
Jason G.
Jason G. Well, England motoring along here. Jason Roy looking the best nick he's been in a while. He's got 41 off 24 balls.
That's the kiss of death.
Yeah, that is the kiss of death, and Better So will be wishing that it is the kiss of death. Although they'll, of course, want to win the game together. But
and maybe kiss at the death.
What are you saying? And Roy spoons that into the offside. He managed to get it over the cover fielder in the ring, but out there is Patterson, and he feels it. Keeps it down to 1. Yeah, there we go.
2005.
There we go. I mean, yeah, it has vindicated the Zafar Ansari jingle, Sophia, your theory that this should just be all jingles, because we should enter that into Eurovision. I mean, that's how good that song is.
And Zafar Ansari should.
Yeah, parody, isn't it? Bollywood parody is brilliant.
I really hope if anyone ever got that jingle to Zafar, he would like it.
Well, he had a Facebook Live Q&A. I'll continue this after this ball as Bairstow drives beautifully. Oh, he steps to a half volley from Slaquai and smashes it straight back past the bowler for one of these.
That went like a tracer bullet.
You found it.
He's only hit 2 boundaries in his innings so far, Johnny Bairstow, but they've been probably the 2 shots of the innings. A perfect cover drive and now a perfect straight drive. Yeah, so Zafar Ansari had a Facebook Live Q&A with BBC Sport, and you could just, and I wanted to send in just, have you heard your jingle? Are you sad that you will never hear it again? But he wouldn't have known what we were talking about as Slaquai's in, and Bairstow bats this one off the back foot. Oh, it's gone in exactly the same place, except this time he's gone back and thrashed it over the bowler's head for one of these.
4.
Good God, yeah.
Well, a little bit of a spurt here from Johnny B. He's finally got over a strike rate of 100. He's 19 off 17 balls. And England at the moment are making this Taunton pitch and this Taunton ground looking as flat and small as we suspected.
Mark Zip has said, yes, we want plates as a must follow, doing God's work. And then also Ed Webb says, my beard is nothing on my uncle Woy Pons. His is at least twice the length of James Taylor.
Slaquai's in over the wicket to JB, and I think he's probably bowled a wide. No, it's clipped the pad, but there's a stifled appeal from the keeper, but that was definitely going down leg, but he gets away with a dot ball there.
It didn't miss leg stump by very much, to be fair, so that's probably good enough.
Yeah, I think the legs... I can understand with the bouncer rule, because, if it gets up above a certain height, you can't actually hit it. But I do think the leg side wide rule in one-day cricket is quite harsh.
Ed Webb says, if anyone ever got his jingle to Zafar Ansari, he'd be too busy translating Catullus from the original. Catullus, there we go. I'm not
It's all the pronunciation.
Trained.
He's a bit...
Yeah, and then Dr. Dan Diper has said, England's latest T20 uniform, very much better for sketching. Worst messy colours blending together. He doesn't like it.
as Bairstow's back to the last ball of Flaquires over, and it's a dot ball. It's 68 for 1 off the 8th.
That's it.
We're just seeing a replay of that LBW shout. Oh, and it's umpires. Cool, my God.
I think it was close when I looked at it the second time.
You can't give that out, though, can you? I mean, that's the thing. That's one of those ones where...
Well, if it gets given, then,
yes,
you're unlucky.
Yes.
That's like 5% of the ball.
But there was almost no appeal from Flaquire. It was just the keeper, really.
From the choir?
The choir.
Yeah.
And to be fair, most of that appeal is to stop him being given a wide.
Yes, exactly. That's what I thought. I didn't think there'd been a touch on it at all, but there had been.
I thought you said an appeal from the choir.
Oh,
I was like, who are you referring to?
Chris the choir. No, it's the choir. Because it's of the P. I can't do the proper sound, obviously.
What is it?
The P silent.
Probably Zoza or Bantu.
Yeah, I think it's the latter. What you just said. We have a bowling change. We might wait for his first ball as he is in, and Jason Roy tries to reverse sweep that.
Again.
He's got a top edge, and it's just ballooned in the air, but it's gone safe, and he's got his luck today.
And the bowler is this guy.
Smart, I love it. The adventures of a slut. Oh, I'm a market they can't glut. I don't know what compares with
smuts.
I tell you what, Jason Roy, he's had his luck today as they took a single off that ball, and Bairstow forward to Smuts' delivery and just punches that down to long off for a single. He's left arm unorthodox, isn't he, Smuts?
No, it's fairly orthodox.
Oh, it is orthodox. No,
it's Shamsi.
It's Shamsi, that's it. Because we're not allowed to say, we had a big dispute with the Cricket Geek about Chinaman. We're not allowed to say that anymore. So,
well, it's not descriptive, really.
No, exactly. Bowls a filthy wide half tracker, and he's very lucky that that's well fielded down there at long on, and it restricts the batsman who was Jason Roy to a single.
Nestle Boy,
Sorry.
says, fact of the day, restoring an iPad is not very interesting. Thanks for sharing that. And Christ He Choir says, how's that?
It's amazing how people make Twitter handles up that fast. Schmutz is into Bairstow, and Bairstow tries to punt that down the ground. It's tapped down, and it's just beaten the man who made such a good save the over before. It's Farhad Berhadeen, who made a valiant effort, but it went to the boundary for one of these.
And if you kids can't listen, then you bound to see the way you get shot for crossing a boundary.
We interrupted you, Jason. What were you saying?
I was going to say that Smuts would never be a unorthodox spinner, because then he'd be a wrist spinner, and he'd be called Smuts.
Yes, and Smuts is in, and Bez has played a beauty, an absolute beauty. He's just come down the ground, he's lofted it into cow corners, just a free swing of the bat, and it's gone to the boundary for one of these. Bit of an inelegant jingle for the beauty of that shot.
Yeah, but you never quite know what you're going to get with the MOG label. The jingle's labelled MOG 4.
That's right. Schmutz is in, left arm over the wicket, round the wicket, correction, and he's just able, Bairstow, to tap that into the onside and take a sneaky single.
Derek Williams says, hearing Tom Lehrer's song as Smuts jingle is the best thing. Not Fred Titmus says it's as descriptive as the googly. Christ He Choir says, I think what was his name? Catullus might have been the MOG of his day, from what I remember of some of his lyrics.
9 overs gone, 80 for 1.
To be a pedant here, I think he means to Bosie rather than googly.
Oh, I'm sure Fred is.
Fight.
Who would win in that, do you reckon, Ed?
Definitely Jason. Definitely.
No, I have.
Not Fred would be like, I can't be bothered.
What's not Fred going to do? Fall on him? Like.
It's a shame that Facebook Live isn't. Celebrity death match there.
I would pay to watch that. That should be on pay-per-view. None of this Audley Harrison crap that you get.
I have had occasions on the cricket pitch where I've run into an umpire.
Oh really?
Looking at the ball, and I'm looking at and he's running to get away from the to be square on.
Yeah.
And we've both been looking away from each other and collided.
Yeah.
And I was somewhat heavier than I am now.
Yeah, and you're a bit.
And he wasn't small either. Everyone on the pitch was just waiting to see which one of us survived.
Oh, well, we've got a new bowler. AB is bringing back his gun bowlers. I think he realises this match is getting away from South Africa, with England 80 in the 10th over, which hasn't yet begun. And the new bowler is this man. as Bairstow tries to have a swing and a miss at a short ball from Mornay. A short one? What?
Short, that's barely over the top of the stuff.
Yeah. I was criticising myself as I said it. It was, well, for Mornay, that's like basically a Yorker, as Grubby was saying on air. Mornay doesn't bowl the Yorker, and he doesn't really bowl the full ones, but he's bowled some quite nasty and quick short stuff today in tandem with Chris Morris, and 0 for 21 doesn't really reflect the ferocity of his 2 overs, and Jason Roy certainly got away with a couple of big nicks.
Oh, it's a man in the high-vis that's disturbing him.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
JB not happy with some man in a high-vis jacket, a steward, Somerset steward. But he's happy now, and he's turning and facing Mornay, who's going to bowl over the wicket to him. It's 80 for 1, and 9.1 overs have been bowled. And he bowls a short one that Bairstow gets a little bit of bat off, and it just goes over the keeper. And we're going to see the umpires. No, it isn't bat. It is 4 byes, I think. Yep, it's 4 byes. And that's unfair for Mornay. Good short ball, but it's gone for 4. Missed everything. Absolutely everything.
Jackawabe Smith says Philaquayo is pronounced with a soft P, but a P nonetheless.
Okay.
Then Ed Webb has said you never know what you'll get from a Mog jingle when you're pretty sure it won't be Chopin.
No.
Sorry, we're still seeing highlights. I thought we weren't. Mog says, just wait until I send a half score of the unmarked.
Oh, as Bairstow gets onto a short ball from Mornay. He's got back and he's flat batted that. He's flat pulled it for a big one. It's gone into the Sky Sports commentary pod for one of these.
Smack it in the air. Smack it in the air. Legs move it side to side. Smack it in the air. Smack it in the air.
And that was a maximum. That was a maximum.
That's about the flattest maximum I've seen for a long time.
Yeah, it barely got off above head height, really.
I feel like Johnny Bairstow rocks around York on a Saturday night to that song, don't you?
Yeah,
It's the kind of... Can we have that again?
Yep.
Yeah, I just want to enjoy this.
More jingles from...
Smack it in the air. Smack it in the air. Legs move it side to side. Smack it
As Mornay in reply bowls, I think, his first Yorker in 2 years. It was a good one. Why doesn't he bowl him more? It was on leg stump, and all Bairstow was able to do was tap it down the ground for a single. Got the inside edge of the bat, in fact.
Jeff Perkins has sent in a suggestion for a 6 jingle. I believe in miracles. You 6y thing.
Yeah. Well,
60 thing. I think we had that at one point.
It was a cracking 6, but it was also a good reply from Mornay, who's taking a bit of tap, a little bit unfairly. But England here, 91 for 1, not even at the end of the 10th over. They are cruising as Mornay's into Jason Roy, who steps outside the off stump but tries to hit that into Mars, and he's missed it. He's missed it by about 1.5 feet.
Yeah, classic Jason Roy.
Trying to get to 50 with a 6. He's on 44. And yeah, go on.
Adam Stockwin says, I can see Yogi making tons of runs in the test. Smiley face. I know. Predictions.
Yogi Bairstow.
If there's one bowler you don't want to pre-play shots to, it's more than
Yeah, that's so true. Or Dale Steyn, but he's not here. What
Exactly.
a shame.
I think Mornay's getting a bit frustrated. He's talking to A.B. de Villiers about his field settings, which...
He's like, mate, what the fuck is over there?
Yeah,
why is he this?
Mate,
Move
why are
over.
the boundaries so fucking small?
Yeah, look, they're nearly as if I lie down, I touch both boundaries.
Okay, Savia, I want you to read the tweets for the end of the over in that accent.
All right.
As Mornay completes it, and he bowls. That's maybe why he doesn't bowl a Yorker, because it was a full toss on the pads, and Jason Roy paddles that out to David Miller, fielding at deep square leg. It's the end of the over. Roy's on 45. He'll be on strike in the next over. Besser's on 34, 35, 95 for 1.
Not Fred Titmus.
Not Fred.
Has tweeted an example of a new jingle, which is 6 bomb. All you need is 6
Oh, that's
bomb.
good.
That's a good one. Neil Franklin, Yorker is racist if your supposed iterations are correct, given that they identify Yorkshire with crooked behaviour. I don't think they do, though. I don't think they do that. No. And Ed Webb says...